Hello and welcome to No Excuses. Today we are going to be talking about how I did this week, a little bit about my week, and I'm going to touch on my August goals and talk about my September goals because September is here. So let's dive right in. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the food first because this is a weight loss journey and the main part of weight loss is in the kitchen. I did really good with my food. My food was in line, my calories were in check, everything was spot on. I could not have actually asked for anything better. Friday was a little bit rough because I had planned what I was going to do for lunch, and while I was driving into work, I realized that my plan was not going to work because I had training, which would be over the lunch hour, which meant that the cafeteria would be closed. Totally threw my plans out of whack, but I recovered, I managed. And it was a very sad week. Our favorite farm stand had its very last week of business for the summer. We'll be back next year. So about 3 weeks ago, I decided to start Yoga with Adriene, and I'm doing the 30-day program. And I started out and it was difficult. I was feeling a lot of aches and pains in my muscles. Everything was doing good. And I was happy with it. Now I did come and make a change. I decided to only do it during weekdays and reserve my weekends for these bike rides, which are intense. So I decided to do that and I was happy with that change. As the program continued on, I started to notice that it became more and more intense. And she was explaining some of the poses a little bit less, and I was struggling more to try to do the poses, and I don't think I was getting the results of the pose because I was struggling so much. And on top of that, at about day 13 or so, I started to dread the yoga time. So early this past week, I decided to make a change. And the change that I made is that instead of doing the 30-day program and continuing with that, I am going to backtrack it. Yoga with Adriene has quite a few beginner videos. So I decided to step back and do that. She also has a series called Foundational, and I'm going to look into that because I figure the best way to do this is for me to actually learn the poses, learn how to hold my body and do it the right way versus struggling. So I'm still doing it. I've just changed the route that I'm taking. It's not a failure. It's an adjustment to make it work for me. And I'm happy with that. So yoga is still on and I'm still working it. Did I mention I do this at 4:45 in the morning? I must be insane. And of course, we are still riding our bikes, and I still got in my walks at work, so I had a very active week again. So let's go ahead and wrap up this month because this month is over. I had a couple goals. The first goal was that I wanted to track all of my food. Done. Absolute. No questions about it. There was also a goal out there that I would keep my eating under control for 6 days of the week, and I managed that one also. I was higher on some days, but those are always the days that I rode my bike, burned lots of calories. So if I add in my earned calories, I did great 100% of the time. I also said that I wanted to get 5,000 steps a day, an average of 5,000 steps. Now I threw out a caveat that on the days that we ride, I don't get the steps. So I was like, okay, 6 days a week, average of at least 5,000 steps. I blew this challenge out of the water. I managed 5,000 steps most of the days. Lots of the days were more than 5,000. And my average for the whole month, including the bike ride days, is over 5,000. And yes, I do know that the goal is 10,000 a day. I work at a desk job. It's really a challenge for me to even get the 5,000. I'm working on it. Happens. Another goal was to make sure that I was actually saving money and not just spending crazy. And done. 100% on top of that. That's been great. I also wanted to aim for at least 3 days of activity a week. Check, check, check. I walked almost every day at lunch. I think I missed one day. I think it was raining. And I did yoga 5 times a week, every morning. So I nailed this one. Oh, and then let's add in all those bike rides. And I had a couple runs. Nailed it. And last but not least, I wanted to weigh less than I did at the beginning of the month. Voila. I also secretly said I wanted to lose more than 5 pounds for the whole month. Yeah, that didn't happen. But you know what? I have made great strides toward my health. I have done everything that I could do. I'm living life. I am still dropping. That's all that matters. That said, I am going to try for 5 pounds again in the month of September. So my goals for next month are the same. 5,000 steps an average, and I will give myself the out on the days that I bike. Track every bite of food, that's non-negotiable. Keep my calories in check at least 6 days of the 7. Exercise at least 3 days a week. Save money. Walk the 5,000 steps a day. I think I just said that one. Oops. Oh, and way less than I do now. So the question we're all asking, how did I do on the scales this week? I'll take it. It's a loss. It's great. So I lost the weight this week, and I'm happy with that. Unfortunately, for the whole month, I had a week where I gained. I had a week where I lost what I gained. I had a week where I maintained, and then I had this week where I lost. So that said, I lost 2.5 pounds in the month of August. Would I have liked it to be more? Absolutely. But I am tickled with the loss because I weigh less than I weighed 4 weeks ago. That is a victory. This journey isn't about the race to the finish line. This journey is about taking the time to change my habits, to change my thoughts, to change everything about me and how I view food and view exercise. This is a journey to change my life, and it can't be done overnight. So I'm happy. Let's just keep doing it. There are no excuses. Let's go out and kill September. We've got this.